Yo, what is going on everybody? It's Juan Solo here with A Squad Gaming and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for some more Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a bunch of brand new information that actually came out yesterday with a number of different articles from different websites detailing some of the things that we're actually going to be seeing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So without further ado guys, let's jump right into the video. So the first thing that we're actually going to be talking about is the 80 million years of history that the developers tried to build into the island of Aroa to make it seem like more of a real place. Because for those of you guys that do not know, Aroa is a fictional location in the South Pacific, and most of the time when it comes to the Tom Clancy games, they try to set those games in actual real locations. But with the actual gameplay direction that the developers wanted to take with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they wanted to build a custom location built from the ground up specifically for this game. So the first thing that we're actually going to be touching on with this is Aroa's distinct biomes. So that was probably one of the coolest things with Ghost Recon Wildlands being the first open world Ghost Recon game with its variable gameplay in the different biomes. So just some of the biomes that we're going to be seeing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint is going to include rainforests, salt marshes, high cliffs, fjords, high tundras, and meadowlands. And one of the cool things is this island is actually going to contain 365 named natural features, including rivers, streams, and mountains. And one of the key notes is you're actually going to have to pay attention to those named locations because actual intel in the game is going to often reference those areas when it comes to your mission objectives rather than just putting a GPS marker on your map. So you're definitely going to have to pay attention to those named natural locations in the game itself, as well as we've already talked about the bivouac feature a number of times on the channel, but there's going to be 109 different bivouac sites that you're actually going to be able to set up camp at, as well as used for fast travel. So I don't remember how many rally points that were actually in Ghost Recon Wildlands that you could use to kind of fast travel around the map, but I don't think there was anything near 109 like we're going to be seeing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, as well as you're going to be able to explore over 330 miles of roads. You're going to visit almost 300 villages and camps, as well as, this is the big one, you're going to be able to discover almost 800 hidden places and secrets on the island of Aroa, including abandoned shelters, mines, remote scale outposts, and much more. So with all of that being said, the developers actually went on to say that they tried to incorporate over 80 million years of history into the island of Aroa. So when building the island of Aroa, the developers went on to say that they created this backstory for the archipelago that stretched back nearly 80 million years to when it first broke away from the landmass that would eventually become New Zealand and Australia. So that's kind of how the island of Aroa was created. And the first inhabitants of the island of Aroa were known as the Kings of the Forest, or the Forgotten, which they vanished long ago, leaving only relics of their ancient civilizations. And beginning in the 16th century, Europeans discovered Aroa and attempted to colonize it with sea forts and trading posts, but were eventually run off by the locals. However, in the 19th century, the Europeans came back in force, this time in search of gold, and established more permanent settlements. And eventually, Aroa would later become a strategic location during World War II, as well as home to the American air bases during the Cold War. So me being a history buff, and I know this is a fictional location, but just some of the backstory right there alone really makes me want to explore this island. And they also went on to say that remnants of all of these civilizations is going to be able to be found throughout the archipelago, ranging from ancient temple-like sites and crumbling shacks to abandoned underground military bases. And one of the developers said that their favorite area on the map is actually an old disused train line, and it's marked by rusting old train cars, and once you actually find the track and follow it, it's going to take you on a journey all the way across the entire island of Aroa with tunnels and bridges that are going to take you through all of the environments of the island itself. And me being a really big fan of trains when I was a kid, this just makes me want to explore and find this location even more. And now kind of hopping back to those hidden locations and secrets, the developers said that there's going to be 793 hidden places, including everything from a house on a lake to a surveillance outpost for private military contractors, and all of these locations are spread across over 330 miles of in-game space, as well as there's no fixed base for the Ghost Squad in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, so these hidden locations can serve as safe havens, as well as some of these are going to have some really good loot and gear for you to grab when you find these locations. So now moving right along, we're going to be checking out 13 brand new images that was actually released in a new Game Informer article that actually came out just yesterday. So the first one being this image here, and you can kind of see this is showcasing the sandy beaches that they actually talked about during the reveal live stream, as well as you can kind of see off in the distance there, it looks like some sort of like a hydro power plant or something like that, probably associated with Skell technology. Now this one I would definitely say is inside of the massive capital city on the island of Aroa. You can see some futuristic looking cars, some solar panels, a lot of high-tech stuff there, so I definitely would say that this is in the capital city. And then here, probably one of my favorite screenshots that we've actually seen so far. You obviously see Nomad there in the foreground, but you see sort of like a pond, and if you look beyond the pond, it looks like some sort of a hidden cave, probably one of those 800 hidden locations that's going to be in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. But that just looks so cool, being the fact that we're going to be able to explore for hours upon hours upon hours, and we're still not going to be able to find everything in the game. Now this one kind of hints back that the island of Aroa was a key location for the Americans during World War II, and you can see what looks to be a downed aircraft here that's been obviously hanging out on the island of Aroa for quite some time. And then moving along to this image here, it looks like maybe the inside of that cave that was actually showcased in a screenshot just a minute ago, but this kind of looks like it would be in some sort of an Arctic region. It kind of looks like there's ice on that back wall back there behind Nomad, but obviously we'll find out soon enough when we find this location in the game. And now this one, I wasn't sure if this was actually an active military base or this was something that was left over from maybe a different military operation before the events of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because you notice there's nobody around. I don't know if that was just for this screenshot or this is sort of just like an old abandoned military base. Now this one is an overhead shot obviously of the capital city on the island of Aroa, and you can see that this is where all of these Skell technology employees live, and it looks like they're just trying to go about their daily lives, because you can see there's a football field with a track around it, there's a baseball field. I wouldn't be surprised if there's children and kids and stuff on this island here as well. Now moving on to this image, obviously it showcases quite a bit. You can see what looks to be some sort of an outpost over there on the right hand side, and the ghost standing up on top of this cliff overlooking one of the giant fjords, which is a new biome that we're going to be seeing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. As well as you can see here in this image here, it looks like one of the jungle regions that we're going to be seeing in the game itself. It kind of looks similar to some of the regions up in the northeastern part of Ghost Recon Wildlands, and this one I almost wanted to say was in the jungle, but you notice that there's kind of pine trees and stuff around, so I wouldn't think that this is in a jungle region, but what looks like to be remnants of an old village that people had set up kind of in the trees, which obviously looks really, really cool. Now this one looks like obviously some sort of a Skell technology base up in one of the snowy biomes on the map, and it looks very futuristic. You can kind of see some of the industrial stuff off to the side, and if you notice way off in the background there, we see the volcano where the actual first raid in the history of Ghost Recon is going to take place. They did say that they were going to be showcasing that location off in the distance, sort of just teasing us, and obviously you can see it right there in that image. And now this one, this is actually where we got to see Cole D. Walker revealed during the actual reveal live stream. This military base that's built right into the side of the mountain looks absolutely insane. And last but not least, we have this image here, and when I first saw this image, the first thing that I thought of was actually Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You kind of have what looks to be like an old wrecked pirate ship, or obviously maybe some of the early European settlers tried to come across on one of these ships, and it's still crashed here. But overall, those are all of the new images, and that's pretty much going to do it for the video. If you guys are excited about some of the new secrets and hidden locations that are going to be coming to Ghost Recon Breakpoint, make sure to drop a like on the video, and also subscribe if you are new to stay up to date on the latest information surrounding Ghost Recon Breakpoint, as well as Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the channel moving forward. But that is all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.